What is up, poker players? Hope you guys are out there crushing the tables. Had a pretty decent session last night. Got in a little over 3,000 hands. Won about 3 buy-ins. A cool 252. Biggest win was over 2.5 times the biggest loss. I would say that's a pretty solid session. Let's jump right into the hands. First hand we're looking at is Ace-King offsuit on the button at the 200 NL table. Folds around to the cutoff who limps, and I isolate on the button to $10. We get a call on the big blind, and we get a call from the limper. Flop is 10 high, 2-tone, 2 diamonds. Not that great in a 3-way pot with Ace-King, so I just check back on the flop. Turn is the 8 of hearts. Doesn't improve our hand, but doesn't really help anyone else. It checks back again. Then there is the ace of diamonds on the river, and the big blind leads out for 2/3 pot. I think this is a pretty easy call with the Ace-King. You don't really want to raise. You're probably only going to get called by hands that beat you if you raise in this spot. So I do call and take down that pot of almost 70 bucks with top pair, top kicker on the river. Now looking at a little pocket jacks in the hijack seat at the 200 NL again. I love that we moved up limits. It's so exciting. So we get a 3-bet from the button to $22, and we get a call from under the gun +1. It is 18 for us to get into this pot, and with the button's wide 3-bet percentage of 9.4%, I think this is a pretty easy call. And we see a flop of 2-tone, 2 6s, 2 diamonds out there. We have a backdoor diamond draw. Under the gun +1 checks, and we put in a bet of a little bit less than half pot. And the button, who has the wide 3-bet percentage, folds, and we get a fold from under the gun +1. What do you guys think about this play? Would you lead out in this spot, or would you let Detective UA go ahead and continuation bet and then play against him that way? You probably can make more money if you let him continuation bet, but he might also not continuation bet being in a 3-way pot and with a board that he didn't connect with. At the 100 NL table, we have Ace-King offsuit in the hijack seat. Folds to us. We open raise to 3x, and we get 3 bets, a relatively small 3-bet, and it's from a short stacker. Pretty good numbers, very aggressive so far. Has only 3-bet premium hands, but still recreational. We don't have much info on this player. So I decide to pot commit ourselves and 4-bet here, make it 27 to go, and we get a 5-bet jam. I call it off. It is a coin flip, Ace-King against Queens. Pretty good spot for us, and we wind up spiking an ace on the river, winning those coin flips today, and taking down a pot of 96 bucks. Same situation, we have Ace-King suited under the gun, open raise to 3x, and we get 3 bets from a player, JC Baller, who has a really high 3-bet percentage of almost 10%. Plays pretty well. Our Ace-King suited plays pretty well against that 3-bet percentage, and so I put in a 4-bet of $29, pot committing both of us, and he does make a call and leaves 22 in the remaining stack. Flop comes out queen high monotone diamonds. Does not help us, but we still can pick up this pot right here by putting in a bet. He does make the call though. He's got the jacks and an outside straight draw, and we have outs here. Queen doesn't help, and the 4 definitely does not help, and we wind up losing what we just made in that previous coin flip. Back over to the 200 NL. We have King 10 offsuit in the hijack seat, open raise to 3x, and we get a call on the button from Tilt-A-Whirl. Tilt-A-Whirl is a super regular, loose aggressive player, tough to play against, plays a solid game. We flop a king, 10 kicker. I just check back here, and Tilt-A-Whirl bets 2/3 pot. I make a call with our top pair. The turn is the jack of diamonds. There's now 34 bucks in the pot, and this time I lead out for a little bit less than half pot, and he just makes a call. I figure he is most likely on a draw at this point, since we do have the king. So when none of the draws get there on the river, I check back, trying to induce a bluff from a player who plays an aggressive game. This makes sense, and we're going to be making a lot of money off of this type of player when they try to put in a bluff on the river. And he does. He bets 26 bucks. I make a call with the king and take down that pot of 115 bucks. Pretty good pickup right there. Now we have pocket aces at the 100 NL table. We are under the gun +1. Folds us. We open raise to 3x, and it goes to the big big blind who 3-bets. This is Detective UA, who has that wide 3-bet percentage again. Does not fold very often to a 4-bet. So I put in a 4-bet, I make it $24 to go. And Detective UA jams all in, which is exactly what you want to happen when you have pocket aces. Because you know, at worst, you are splitting a pot until the other 5 cards come out. So I make a call, over 200 in the pot. We have aces against ace king. Flop doesn't help him out. He picks up outs on the turn though. We have to avoid a jack going into the river, and we do, and take down that pot of 200 bucks. Still at the 100 NL table. This time we have pocket kings under the gun +1. Open raise to 3x. Folds around to the small blind who puts in a 3-bet. And I decide just to call here pre-flop. Flop is jack high, 2-tone, 2 diamonds. We have a backdoor diamond draw, and the kings, the small blind player leads out for a little bit larger than half pot. I just make a call. And we hit our money card on the turn. There is now 43 bucks in the pot. This time the small blind checks back, and we put in a sizable bet. It is 27-23. And the small blind jams all in. Never gonna get away from top set here. So I do make the call. We just have to avoid a queen on the river, and the 7 of hearts does that for us. And we take down another pot of over 200 bucks. Back over to the 200 NL. We have pocket 7s in the cutoff. Starting to get a little short-handed. We have 8 players in this pot. The player in the hijack seat limps in, and I decide just to limp as well with the 7s here. And there's the isolation bet to $12 from Leatherass9. Leatherass is an online pro, regular player, very solid game. The hijack player calls, and I just call as well, see a flop. There's 39 bucks in a pot, and we wind up flopping middle set. Hijack checks, we check as well. Hopefully Leatherass continuation bets. He does not though. The jack of diamonds on the turn adds a couple more draws out there. A set of 7s is most likely still good here. The hijack player leads out for 926. I put in a 3-bet, I make it 28 to go. I probably could have bet a little bit larger here. It's a little bit bigger than 3 times the hijack player's bet. Leatherass gets out of the way, and the hijack calls. There's 95 in the pot. The hijack has 109.18 in their stack, and the 4 of spades comes on the river. That completes the flush, but also gives us the full house. But when the hijack player checks back, I figure this player probably did not hit that draw. So let's try to put in a bet sizing that an ace will call, or possibly a jack will call. And if they did hit their flush, they will most likely jam the rest of their stack in, and we will get their entire stack in anyway. So I make it 80. It's a large bet, a little bit less than 80% of the pot, and I think it will be very hard for an ace to get rid of their hand here, especially from a recreational player. And he does make the call. We do not know what he has, but we take down that pot of 252 with a full boat. At the 100 NL, we now have ace jack suited spades. Under the gun, open raises to 3x. We get a call from under the gun +2. We get a call from middle position, and we just call here on the button. See a flop. There is 1350 in the pot, and we flop top pair and top flush draw, royal flush draw actually. Under the gun checks, and we get a fairly large bet, 3/4 of the pot from under the gun +2. We get a call from the middle position, and I just make a call here as well. We have got a big pot building. There's 42.36 in the pot, and we turn our nut flush. Under the gun +2 checks now, and we get a little bit less than a half pot size bet from the middle position player. With the nuts, I'm just gonna call here and try to get basic instinct to make a call as well. It's gonna leave us with about 70 bucks in our stack, and we could easily get that bet sizing in on the river. Basic instinct does make the call, and the 5 of clubs is a total brick on the river. There's now 99.36 in the pot, and we have 68.38 in our stack. The middle position player bets about 1/3 of the pot on the river. It's pretty much a min raise when we jam here. So we get the rest of our chips in, and we get a call from middle position who also had a flush, but not the nut flush, and we take down that pot of 233.12. 133 big blinds at the 100 NL. Pretty solid session for us. Didn't lose any huge pots. Got in some fun poker. Feel that adrenaline and blood flowing when you start start playing these higher limits. Head down to the video description for links to America's Card Room, where I am doing my 100K bankroll challenge. You can also pick up Hold'em Manager in the video description as well. There is a link for a 30-day free trial. If you guys are not using Hold'em Manager, I highly suggest you do. It makes playing poker online so much easier and makes it more fun when you win more money. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not done that yet. We've got daily content coming out as well as streaming, so turn on your notifications also so you are notified when new videos and streaming content is live. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Leave your comments down below. Can't wait to read some of those. And I will be back with a new video very soon. But until then, I will see you guys out on the virtual felt.